everybody. In today's video, I want to talk about something important, something that I feel strongly about, something that I don't think we say enough. And that is that you can work on yourself all you want, but if you're doing it alone, you're leaving something essential behind. You see, we are not meant to grow alone. And all the meditation, the journaling, and the self-work in the world, it only takes you so far. And the rest comes from connecting with others, from those relationships that both challenge and heal us. Now, a lot of topics on this channel so far have been focused on that, on doing that individual work, on finding agency and just going at it. And we do always need to be doing our own work. Nobody else is going to do it for us. But at the same time, we're not alone in this world. And so much richness comes from relating. And there's only so far we can go in isolation, even when it comes to our own personal growth and self-discovery. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who sees this, but when we look around, we see there are so many relationships that are breaking apart or surviving, but staying surface level in order to survive. You know, people walking on eggshells around each other and maintaining that status quo, even if the status quo is unpalatable. And then we've got our modern technology, our chat GPT, information becoming our companion. We don't need to reach out. We don't absolutely need to reach out. We have this faulty idea, this faulty sense that we don't really need anybody anymore. We don't even need our own creativity and effort anymore. But that's a separate topic, and maybe I'll make a video about that. And if I do, I'll make sure I link it below. But my point here about tech is we can progressively get the answers to all our questions from behind a screen. We don't need to talk to an expert, as we have expert information at our fingertips. We don't need to ask a friend for advice on a topic that they might be well versed at. We don't need to risk exposing ourselves. We don't need to lean into our relationships. We don't need to lean into our differences or risk being misunderstood. We're just fine on our own. So, you know, there's this growing idea that we can do everything by ourselves and we don't need anybody. And nothing could be further from the truth. And I know you feel this. There is this craving for togetherness and connection, but also a growing difficulty. And I noticed there's also something adding to that difficulty, and I just want to name it. It's how people feel about it, actually. Those that dare to sit with it long enough, they feel ashamed a lot of the times, ashamed as if they're failing at something so basic, so human. And yes, we can blame modern life and the systems at play that push us towards that direction. In essence, a system, a world that seems to reward selfish behavior and passivity and comfort zones and really just being lulled to sleep. But what is this quote unquote reward? What is actually happening? Depression, numbness, isolation, general state of decline, this degeneration. And we see it, we all see it. So now what? Well, the way I see it, we can either give up our arms or feign indifference or do something about it. And so I'm going with that, doing something about it. So with all that in mind, I decided to take a stand on this little channel of mine here. I will be your humble guide and calm activator that champions not only self-leadership, which is very important, but also teamwork, building relationships, and collaborations. And you can expect topics on team dynamics and relationship building, what you can actually do with your people, new and effective ways of being and working together, building a strong team, enabling you as an individual to positively impact and change the systems you are a part of by, whether that be your family, your group of friends, your team at work, your community, by reconnecting to what matters and moving and taking action from there. So how does that all sound? Because it sounds pretty good to me. It's my jam. What else? On top of being a team building coach that has been studying team dynamics and has trained in various team building models such as relationship systems coaching, I'm also on a parallel path with you in my own teams. And I come from a big, big family, a big international family with complex dynamics and a lot of difficulties, but also a lot of strength, resilience, and a lot of beauty. And I'm a stubborn champion of that inner beauty, that strength, that resilience in teams and in people. I once heard it described as a sort of hidden inner nucleus, something that all of us people carry. And it's usually covered by all sorts of darkness, both outer and inner darkness, the so-called dark self. And in order to get to that inner nucleus, we need to be willing and brave enough to walk through the dark and process the difficult truths that we uncover about ourselves and others and about our world. And in order for that inner beauty to come to the surface, to come to light, to reveal itself and grow, it absolutely requires the presence of loving, healing relationships. So, to my point, we need each other. And this doesn't have to be this desperate thing. It's actually this expansive thing, this joyous thing, as difficult as it may be at times. And it's a full life's journey. It never ends. This discovery, this process of learning about your relationship with yourself, learning about your relationship with other people, and learning about how all of those things are connected and just growing together. So this is something I wanted to share with you as I progress this channel along. And as always, I'm going to point you to my free resources that I'll link below so you can check out. And if you have any topics that you would like me to cover, or if you have any curious questions for me, feel free to reach out, okay? And also there's this option if you want to simply sign up for my newsletter below. You'll get occasional emails from me with helpful information about these topics and updates on things that I have on offer, free materials and programs, and also my live retreats. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now. And if you enjoyed this video, you might also want to check out this one next. It's about building a strong team when everyone is in survival mode. Now, I filmed it outside, so please excuse some of the flaws. But I'll get better with this over time. Thanks again for your support, and talk to you soon.